Let's dive into a very important subject that's causing a lot of confusion, fear, uncertainty, and doubt: the state of and the future of AI. This overview draws on my article, Human Intelligence: Limits of Current AI, which emphasizes the significant differences between human intelligence and current artificial intelligence systems. I argue that AI, while proficient at pattern recognition, is fundamentally limited in its ability to replicate the diverse array of human intelligences. I suggest that this is not merely a matter of missing code, but stems from inherent scientific and physics-based limitations that prevent AI from achieving genuine, human-like cognition. Outlining the key forms of human intelligence that remain beyond the reach of current AI, we can see that emotional intelligence, which involves perceiving, interpreting, and responding to emotions, relies on complex biological processes such as neurotransmitter regulation, somatic feedback loops, and limbic system activation, all of which are absent in AI. While AI can mimic emotion recognition through pattern analysis, it lacks the subjective emotional experience, hormonal influences, and embodied consciousness that underpin genuine human emotional intelligence. Similarly, social intelligence in humans depends on mirror neuron systems, theory of mind, and cultural context awareness, enabling real-time interpretation of nonverbal cues and adaptation to unspoken social norms, capabilities that AI struggles with. The development of reciprocal relationships based on shared lived experiences is also a uniquely human aspect missing in AI. Then there's survival primal intelligence, our evolved capacity for environmental adaptation, which utilizes proprioceptive feedback, predictive homeostasis, and instinctual threat response systems. Additionally, when comparing energy efficiency, current robotics cannot match the efficiency or multimodal integration of human survival cognition, which are integrated into and through the physiobiological framework of humans. Another innate component to the cognitive experience is naturalistic intelligence, the ability to process ecological data through the sensory biological systems like olfactory receptors and rod cone cells, and intuition, that feeling which transcends and surpasses the capabilities of AI's static training data and very limited sensory information, which technology still struggles with. Therefore, it lacks continuous environmental co-adaptation. Even the capacity for existential intelligence, our human ability for metaphysical reasoning, relies on default mode of etheric frequency field activity, symbolic abstraction, and cross-modal metaphor generation, creating a topological fabric which features and implies a level of intentionality and consciousness that AI currently lacks. With these fundamental intelligences missing within the current AI models, it renders the access to and creation of intentionality or consciousness necessary to formulate original philosophical frameworks or spontaneous improvisation and creativity, which are core to the human experiences. Finally, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, involving precise motor control through cerebral processing, muscle spindle feedback, and vestibular ocular integration, also surpasses current robotic capabilities in terms of energy efficiency and responsive adaptive control. Another sensory limitation from our current billiard ball gritology model that has restrained reality for the last few hundred years. These limitations are rooted in the fundamental differences in substrate physics. The specific physical constraints such as semiconductor band gaps, which prevent the replication of organic electrochemical signaling, the von Neumann architecture limiting contextual learning, and CMOS sensor limitations hindering continuous variable perception. The energy efficiency of the human brain also far exceeds the theoretical limits of current computation. The current AI architectures operate within classical physics paradigms which prevent the replication of potential etheric frequency fields of energy. This lack of connection with the biological processes that underlie human intelligence prevent the achievement of any semblance of consciousness that makes the reality we experience and inhabit. In summary, it's clear that AI's proficiency is primarily in pattern recognition. Its inability to replicate the spectrum of human intelligences is due to fundamental scientific and physical limitations, not merely the absence of specific code. The embodied emotional, social, survival, naturalistic, existential, and bodily kinesthetic dimensions of the human cognition experience are inextricably linked to biological systems and physical processes that current physics and AI technology cannot define, code, or develop. However, the capability to interrogate with speed, efficiency, and accuracy will streamline and vastly improve performance across all systems where interactions and transactions are required. The application and deployment of the current AI models and systems, which are currently at war, what I call the AI wars, the battle of the bots, will eventually become commodities with personally owned and defined assistants who will gather agents or expert systems, specifically designed to perform highly focused tasks individually or collectively, with parameters defined and set by the owner of the assistant. This will enable both efficiency and performance of mundane daily tasks, and most importantly, will provide more time for learning, teaching, exploring, and discovering the infinite fields of frequencies and information that inhabit the reality we all share and experience.